How are you doing this morning? Sorry to leave you hanging a little bit. Make sure my mic is working. Yeah, it's all working and everything's great. Hair's a little off though for some reason. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, hopefully you're having a great morning and thanks for streaming with us. We've still got a lot of cloud cover. You know, I was talking about this all morning long that clouds are going to be real stubborn. They're not going to want to break up. I think they're going to be, we're going to have a lot of stratus out there for at least another couple of hours, so don't count on sunshine until probably about 2:30, 2 o'clock, somewhere in that vicinity. But when the sun comes out, it's going to really warm up, and this is going to be one of those days, and tomorrow about the same, where there's potential for reaching a record high. Not going to happen today, just too much cloud cover. And I really believe that tomorrow, I don't think we're going to hit a record high either tomorrow. The potential's there, though. If we get a southwest wind, if we get a dry line that comes in here and clears us out, then perhaps maybe, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, let me say hi to some folks. Well, we've got a lot on right now. Let's say, Chris, hey, how are you? All you're asking for is a Arctic blast for Christmas. You know, it sounds like that's a Mariah Carey song with the words changed a little bit. Don't ask me to sing it. But I don't see an Arctic blast for Christmas necessarily. I'm not really ready to kind of share this with you yet, but it could get colder at the end of the month. We'll talk more about that later. Becky, how are you doing this morning? Hope you're doing great. Brenda, how are you? What Chris said, okay. And Juan, hope you're doing great. Hey, thanks. Amy, hi. How are you? Hopefully having a great morning. And Abdul, hi. How are you doing? Let's see. Bill, thanks for joining us this morning. Okay, let's get to it. We've got a lot of cloud cover out there. Let me put the maps up here so you can see what's going on. Lots of clouds. Kind of off a little bit for some reason there. There we go. I think I just adjusted it. All right. Lots of clouds. Look at the airport. 69 degrees right now. 43 is the average low. This morning we were down to, what is that, 61? Is that the low? No. Let me think. 43, 60. Yeah, 61. 61 was our low temperature this morning, which is way above average. Record low, 23, set back in 1917. Of course, it was cold back in 1917. Okay, this is the visible satellite imagery that we're looking at here. Where you see the darker shade, that's the clouds kind of breaking up and a little sun shining through in Tilden, Victoria. I haven't looked at the temperatures yet, but I suppose temperatures in Tilden, Victoria, probably warmer than what we've got here. It looks like there's a little sunshine shining up around Rock Springs and also Kerrville as we speak. It's often this way, that along the escarpment, that's the last place to clear up. And I think that's going to be the last place to clear up today, right along from around Hondo to San Antonio to New Braunfels, it looks like. All right, first of all, before we get to the temperatures, let's look at the visibilities. We're still reporting 3 miles at the airport, 4 miles at Gonzales, about 7 miles Pleasanton. So, you know, just real humid conditions out there with, especially for this time of the year. Dew points, mid-60s, somewhere around there. Temperature at 69. We've got 70 at Bernie, Kerrville 72, Fredericksburg 71. And remember, we were looking at the satellite imagery, and there's a little more sunshine down to the south and east. And sure enough, that's where our warmer temperatures are. George West 81, Beeville 77, Victoria 78. Going to be a real warm day for this time of the year. There's no doubt about that. So we're right now at 69. Again, I think we'll hit the low 80s. Record for the date is 85. Okay, here's one component. And this is one reason why I don't think, of course, could be wrong. This is one reason why I don't think that we're going to reach high temperatures either today or tomorrow. Okay, we're looking at the surface map here. You can see all the southerly flow off the Gulf of Mexico. Really humid for this time of the year. There's the dry line out to the west. And I've got cloud cover kind of superimposed over the contours. But you can see where it's brown, and that dry line, there's real sharp boundary between the moist air and the drier air. And if you're new to Texas, this is really kind of only a Texas-Oklahoma phenomenon, the dry line, where you have real humid just right up against really dry. And that dry line will have a tendency to move to the east during the afternoons. But I just don't think it's going to move through most of south central Texas. Now, I suppose, maybe even today, probably more like tomorrow. Some of our western counties, some of our southwestern counties could get really dry behind that dry line. And when it's dry, boy, that air warms up very efficiently. And especially when you pick in a west or a southwest wind here in South Texas, those temperatures will just move on up. And so I suppose we're going to look at the map tomorrow, and there's going to be some temperatures, believe it or not, I think reaching lower, maybe even mid 90s. But it's just not going to be here, I don't think. But if you're watching from Del Rio, maybe even Catula, along maybe Eagle Pass, I think you've got a chance for that. Let's take a look at this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. A slight upper level ridge, but you got to have a lot of sunshine to really maximize those temperatures. But what I really want to show you is another storm system that comes off the Pacific, out of the Four Corners, lots of snow in the Rocky Mountains. But most of the lift is way up north, up in from the Rockies through the Plain States, way up north into the Great Lakes, and just not for us. So maybe a 20% chance of picking up a shower briefly late Friday night or early Saturday morning. And other than that, I don't see much of another chance for real measurable rain that's going to make any kind of difference whatsoever. And we may have to wait until the end of the month for things to kind of change for us. I think next couple of weeks, I'm not kidding you, maybe a quarter of an inch. That's a big maybe. All right, so let's take a look. This is what I've done here. This is the time cast over the next couple of days. Instead of the temperature contour, I put the humidity contour on there because where the areas that turn a little bit more tan on this map, those areas are going to turn drier. Also, you got the clouds here, and that's going to make a big difference this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon. But before I get to that, let me say hi to some more folks. Yvonne, hey, how are you? Let's see, Louisa. So no snow anytime soon, that's for sure, Louisa. But hold on. Still got time for maybe the end of the month, January, February. We still got a lot of winter left. I just don't see any snow anytime soon. And by the way, and I'm sure I've said this many times, overall, if you're wondering what to expect for the end of December, the rest of December, into January and February, kind of like what we've been seeing with mild temperatures even above average, not much rainfall. I mean, that's a typical La Nina winter. But in La Nina winters, you'll have a couple of bouts of cold air that'll come out of the Arctic. Right now, it's kind of hard to tell what the quality is going to be and how much of that is going to move this far south, but it usually happens that way. And so, yeah, you know, we can say that most of the winter is going to be warm, but boy, you have a couple of really cold bouts, and that changes things. So that's just kind of what you can expect for the rest of this winter. And Alfredo, hey, how are you doing? Harry, how are you? We just have so many folks on. Really appreciate it. Okay, here's what I'm expecting for the rest of the day. Clouds really hanging in tough. Cloudy conditions, maybe even a little mist or drizzle. Finally breaking out at about 2 this afternoon, 2:30, something like that. And a high temperature, computer model says 80. I think we could hit lower 80s this afternoon. And then tomorrow morning, well, guess what? We're going to cloud back up again, some patchy drizzle, fog around, just real soupy. And I think the clouds, it may take even longer to break them up tomorrow. This is just one computer model, and notice it's got cloudy skies really hanging in till about 2:30. And for that reason, today and tomorrow, I just don't see how we're going to break a record. I think despite all the cloud cover tomorrow, I think it's going to be close. The record high is 85. I think 83, 84 is probably going to be our high for Friday. But notice to the south and west and west. And also, you'll notice this, just a straight southerly wind. I mean, there's no way we're going to hit a record high if we have just a straight southerly wind. But out west, the wind component could be southwesterly. This computer model is showing southeast. But I think could be southwesterly. Dry line could even work in, and it would not surprise me a bit. Some of the counties out to the west, Del Rio, out towards, again, Eagle Pass, maybe even Carrizo Springs, maybe even Rock Springs, hitting low 90s to mid 90s tomorrow. And that is really hot for this time of the year. Okay, for tomorrow, yep, visibility's down there, down to about maybe a half a mile, even lower than that. I'm going to back up. I forgot to go all the way through Friday night into Saturday. Look at that real thin line of showers. I mean, just not really going to do us much of any kind of good. And then Saturday morning, if you're up early enough, start off in the upper 60s. At about 6 a.m., cold front comes through with the cooler air, lower 60s, and we spend most of the day on Saturday. Now, get this. Even though some places out west may hit the low 90s or mid 90s on Friday, those same places may only be in the 50s all day long on Saturday. So you talk about a cold front, and that's South Texas for you. Quite a change as we head into Saturday and the weekend, much cooler. All right, visibility's tomorrow. We're down to about a half mile, quarter mile, some places. Could even see another dense fog advisory tomorrow. That's not out of the question in the morning. Okay, here's a 7-day. High today, I think we'll finally break out of the clouds. Let's say best guess, probably 2:30, something like that. High at about 82. Tomorrow morning, low of 66, maybe even closer to 70. I mean, really warm for this time of the year. Look at the average high. Average high for this time of the year is 66, and we'll be at that tomorrow morning. High tomorrow, 85, near record high. Matter of fact, I think I may take that down to about 84. Record's 85. We're going to be close. Cold front comes through, a lot cooler on Saturday, most of the day in the 50s, high 63. Sunday morning, I think 40 in the city, 30s in the hill country, high 67 on Sunday. Sunday afternoon is going to be really nice, by the way, 67. And then Monday, some morning clouds, partly cloudy, high 71. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, we're kind of back in the same boat with low clouds, temperatures in the 60s in the morning, maybe a little patchy drizzle or fog, and then mostly cloudy skies both Tuesday and Wednesday with high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Okay, now you're caught up. And again, I just want to thank you so much for streaming with us. Don't forget to watch. We've got the noon show coming up. I'll be on it. And then we've got 4, 5, 6, and 10. Don't forget to watch that. And I will be back tomorrow morning. And I'll be back right here probably a little earlier for the Facebook and YouTube Live. A little earlier probably, but I'll be here. So you'll see a lot of me. Thanks for tuning in again, and thanks for streaming with us. And I hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.